Welcome back to Domingo Live. We've got the members of the East and the Crow. Welcome to Domingo Live. Good to have you. First time for you guys, right?
First time here. Thank you. I've been watching since I was a kid.
Oh,
yes, thank you.
We're glad. Well, you're making us feel old here. Hold on.
As soon as I told my dad we were going to be on Domingo Live, I think that was the proudest moment of our bonding.
That is amazing. I'm glad to hear that. Let's get everybody introduced.
Yes, I'm Brian Wright. I'm the lead singer. This is Lee Dykes. He plays everything. He plays bass, piano, and he does writing and backup vocals.
Yes, sir.
Peter G is our amazing drummer. Also plays a little guitar. Does some songwriting.
Yep.
George Woods, Dr. George Woods, the smartest man in the band. He's on lead guitar, and then we've got Ralph Tobias, who wasn't able to be with us today.
Let's talk about, first of all, the name. Who came up with the name of the band? And what does it mean?
It was actually a former member. He had it in a dream. We came up with 3 or 4 different band names, and we would settle on something, and none of us ever really loved it. And then one day he came to the band and was like, "What about the East and the Crow?" And we were like, "Well, that's weird. That's like, that's obscure enough that it sounds good. Let's do that."
Yes,
so we stuck with it from day one with it. Yeah.
We definitely stuck with it right now.
Yes.
Yeah. I see.
Everywhere.
How did
That's
the
cool.
band get together, and how long have you been together?
So I was doing covers in town, playing Cafe Calypso with a buddy of mine, and then Brian said, "I do karaoke, and I'd love to hang out and do some songs with you." And then we got an opportunity to play the Ritz stage in town when they were still doing shows down there.
Right.
And they said, "But you can only play if you can do half an hour of original music." So it was actually like the Ritz was our inspiration to like really write original music in Corpus, and we got to play there in say October of 2018. And we've been writing around the coastal bend and traveling around Texas since then.
Sure.
It's been really awesome.
I mean, your music is unique. It is almost indigenous to us here in the coastal bend.
Thank you.
I mean, you guys do something that is very, very different, and that is, I mean, you put on a show.
Thank you.
Really, really good. I mean,
I feel like
it's
I have to
excellent.
overcompensate for being the worst musician.
No.
I don't play an instrument. And for the first year, I think, of the band, I stood there like this, just singing, the lyrics. And eventually it got to where, I assumed the crowd was bored with it. I was bored with it. And these guys really encouraged me to kind of get off of the microphone stand and move around. And these are my best friends, so I just interacted with my guys on stage, and that's kind of where the enthusiasm and the energy comes from, is just making jokes with them and laughing and having fun. And they really encouraged me to, like I said, just kind of try to put on a show.
We don't want him to trip over any chords here, but normally he'd be climbing all over everything. He walks into traffic, he goes out into the crowd and walks onto people's tables. It's fantastic.
Well, you have to work the crowd. That is part of the entertainment.
Yes.
So where can our viewers go see you? Where can they find your music?
Well, around town, we typically we play the Exchange, Surf Club, House of Rock, Brewster Street. But on the 27th of January, we've got a big show at Surf Club.
Nice.
So we're gonna do, I think it's 3 hours.
Yeah, we're gonna
have
do
3
3
hours
hours,
of all original
great.
music. Everything you heard here today you can find online, and you're going to see it live with a bunch of new songs that we've been working on over the last couple of months. So we're going to be debuting some new stuff.
And you're making it very easy. We have the QR code there on the screen that people can
Yes.
just scan, go straight to their social media sites, right?
Yes, our QR code leads you to our social media, and as well as Apple Music, Pandora, and Spotify, so they can stream and download our music as well.
And support local.
Yes.
Support local.
Yes.
Spread the word.
It's all recorded right here in town, all written
Yes.
right here in the coastal bend, produced.
We love
We're
to hear
100%
that.
local.
We love to hear that. 3 hours at the Surf Club with these guys. Great music, great food.
Yep,
What else do you want, right?
That's right. It's a good Saturday night.
Yeah, it sure is.
Absolutely.
And you've got one more song coming up for us, right?
We do. Yes, Embers in the Sea. It is probably the most personal song I've ever written. I have written from being heartbroken and sad to happy to mad, and I had never written from a scared point of view. And my daughter was born a couple months early, and she was put in the NICU, and wrote this song with the guys. It was during COVID, so we were all passing files back and forth. I wrote the song in the parking lot of the hospital,
Oh,
just
my
scared to
goodness.
death for my daughter. And everything turned out good. She's driving me crazy.
That's her job.
She's in a terrible 2 stage now.
That's her job there for the
But yeah,
rest of her life.
Embers in the Sea was our most recent single, and it was about her and that kind of period of her her life with my wife and what we were going through, and she's going to sing backup vocals on it. And
I think people
Yeah.
really identify with it. You know,
Sure.
this has hit
Yeah.
the college
Absolutely.
radio charts. It's been on Spotify playlists.
got
Like, it's
over-
something that people really
Oh.
identify with. We had people from Florida that show up to go to Buck Days, and they're like, "We've heard this song, and we had to be here to hear this."
Yeah.
So,
Well, we
like,
love the
Definitely.
backstory. We can't wait to hear the
Can't
song.
wait to hear it.
Thank you.
And what's your dad's name?
Jeff Wright.
Jeff Wright. Where are you? Hi, Jeff.
Thank you,
He's
Jeff.
on Domingo Live finally. Look at that.
Back when we only had 3 channels to
There you
show.
go.
Way
Well,
back.
there's only one important channel there. There's only one
60
important.
years on the air. All right, we're going to hear from the East and the Crow next on Domingo Live.